And here's the restart. So how are going to be the positions in this edition of Marsh? Seattle is now not in the center, but has a decent spot for the gold, so he's gonna be fine early game. Suezo again has quite some nice gold there, and Gold Lion sees a gold behind the base as well. TSM guys, well, Fan is a pocket again. And the starting position seems to be kind of decent. So what's this kind of relic? Ring of Nibelung. Well, that's a nice one. So that's probably gonna go to Seattle. Or it might just as well go to Atlantis. You never know. Depends who will see it earlier and decide to go for it. Seattle. Atlantis is of course going for the beasties here. Make some harassing army, as one would expect on Marsh from set. While the others are doing the standard stuff on the start of Marsh. Another relic here, and that's, yeah, Trio of Elf Monkeys. That's one of the worst in the game. Kind of a joke one. Other relics. What's this one? This is Trojan Gate. That's not a bad one. That's gonna help if it's gonna get two walls. The Veget Eye, well, that's a great one. That's a great one. That's gonna help anyone who has it, especially if a fan manages to get it. But he really shouldn't because it's very close to TBL. And this is built-in LOS. That's also pretty cool. Plus 8 LOS means that you see a lot. And it seriously helps, even though it might seem it's not great, it's really useful. Villager food carrying capacity, also great one. And this is the last. 5% for Toxosts, Chariots, Thrawn X-Men, and Requisite points. That's pretty nice. Just as well. So if TBL can really collect these, they will have a pretty decent advantage in pretty much everything. Oh, and cheaper villages here. Okay. Another one, temporary siege costs less, and archer cost. Well, all of these are pretty nice. I would expect some kind of treasure hunt here. Yeah, Atlantis making his army of animals to scout faster. And Suezo is just scouting here. Probably looking for a place to put his temple. He seems to be like in this spot, so maybe he'll go here. Yep, he goes aggressive. So we'll probably see some early action here. Game Hunter, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, and it seems that these TSM still have no idea that he's really here. So, might come as a surprise. Where is Yellow scouting? He's not scouting anywhere, he's just empowering his buildings. Interesting one. But not as much as all the rest. He's already picked, yeah, the Ring of Nibelung. That's gonna help him a lot as an Eggy. Come on, Fan. You're not going to advance with these idols. And shift in sands. And he got one. Yeah. That's a seriously tough luck. Fortunately, you're not gonna get away. Yep, that's gonna slow you down quite noticeably. But still, they are not seeing that they are here. This is gonna be an interesting push here. He's just now going for bust. Oh well, if they can go fast enough. Even though Game Hunter does a very nice job of protecting his towers, he might face some interesting moments later on. Atlantis is going for the second TC, and that's a very important one, because it basically controls the way out of Seattle's base, which is going to be pretty important, because you'll be able to close him down pretty easily. And he's still... Nah, he should see it. At least he should see the animals there. Looking if he's going to build the TC. Well, for that he needs to go classic first. Oh, this is not really fast. They're not doing anything. They're just standing there waiting for the towers to go up. Yeah, and now they're attacking just when the towers go up. That's kind of a shame. They could have at least shown the presence. Ah, that's an interesting forest fire to get a clean way into his base and get rid of some of the wood, but I'm not really sure it was worth it at this point. And he had a way up there. On this side, obviously, there was some fighting going on with the animals, but against the Willies that's not really a fair fight. But the TC is definitely up, and Seattle is gonna have a problem here. Ben isn't really doing anything yet. He's just going for Hippicons now, and he went for second TC, so he's trying to boom. But he'll have to hope he'll be in time to actually protect Game Hunter here. TBL has amassed some amount of army here, but they shouldn't be here, they should be here, attacking the Willies, because if they were, they would basically put Game Hunter out of the game. And Seattle has, yeah, I would expect them to go here sometime soon, the Ancestors. Unless he's thinking as a protection. Well, he really shouldn't, because he'll have protection enough with this Migdol, which is going to go up, most probably. This small group of enemies shouldn't be able to take it down, especially when he has some units of his own. Yep, and here are the Ancestors. Timed it nicely, that he manages to call the wall of Valor in time. Don't worry about this guy, just kill the Willies. From the town center, just take a pick. Yeah, this TC should go down. Man isn't really going there fast enough because he's doing all this long trek there. That's really not effective. While Atlantis is kind of stalled here and he's going to be facing a Migdol, and that's an uphill battle. And the TC is of course down, as we could see that it surely would. And now it's really up to TBL to keep Game Hunter out of the game. Yep, go there. This is the spot to be. Ton of release, building a TC. Well, the TC is obviously going up. So all that effort was kind of stalled. They are just wasting units on nothing here, instead of just pushing for everything they've got. Come on, don't worry about the units, kill the Willis. Yeah, that's gonna be a horrible slaughter. That was pretty stupid spot, to be honest, from Game Hunter to to think that he would be able to get away with it. On the south side there's really nothing happening, because nothing can happen even there, as Atlantis is going for heroic and waiting for the big loss of his own. Now he's going to try to raid. If he sees this, that might be fun. Well, the north attack seems to be pretty much dead right now. So Suezo is going just for the raiding, which isn't something they wanted to achieve, because now Fen is kind of boomed with his 2 TCs. He was untouched, and if he notices this, which he kind of should, then he should have no problem really defending this and upping up into heroic soon. And since Game Hunter is safely in heroic as well, I don't really see TBL doing anything much more here. Atlantis going for the 3rd TC. Yeah, that's a correct choice. And he'll have just one more behind his base to buff his attack up with more population and units and such. Now it's kind of interesting that TBL is not trying to take this TC. They seem to be kind of decently owning this part of the map, but if you don't take advantage of it, what's it really good for? Now Game Hunter has successfully made his Migdol to protect his gold, so he'll be safe here. And this gold is, well, since TBL is not really scouting there, I think it would be pretty safe too if he decided to go for it. Oh, this is a lot of units. This is not a good fight for Fen, I think, especially when he's not upgraded. All he needs is to turn the Murmilos around and the horses would get pretty much dead. On the south side, Atlantis is trying to push his advantage in his town centers, because Seattle has just 2. As obviously, Atlantis stole his 3rd. This is pretty much a stalemate. Seattle is probably popped at this point, and he's waiting for some siege, which he can't get out now. And here, yeah, Game Hunter finally picked up and supplied the units that were needed. This is pretty much a very good combo against what TBL has. Chariot Archers and Hippicons, that's gonna kill anything. Gorlance is trying to make some raid, but well, doesn't seem to be finding a lot of success here. Maybe now he will. But how's it going look in the battle here? Not really good. Against the TC, Migdol Fire, you can't really expect too much. But Atlantis is going for it, because he does have the siege, and he's looking to put some pressure on, if he can. Yeah, he'd like to kill those camels first, though. Yeah, this is a good fight, because he'll stall the camels. Oh ho ho, there's a fight going on for the TC. Fen is trying to take his 3rd, and he succeeded with the help of Atlantis' ancestors. Well, if they can use the ancestors wisely, they could actually retake some of the possessions here. This TC is still free. Bugs me that nobody's taking it. Yeah, those minions should just kill buildings. Because it's obvious TBL will run away from them. And instead of just running around or getting killed, they could be dealing some damage to the buildings. On the south side, obviously Atlantis destroyed the Migdol with this nice array of siege towers. And now he's pushing the advantage even further. Heavy Chariot against Chariot Archer. Yeah, he's even upped against unupped. So he should be really owning this. Seattle is trying to murk his way out of the tough situation. Oh, Suez is gonna help him big time. That's a nice micro, getting away from them. Good play. Good play, a very nice defense from Atlantis. This cost Suezo pretty much all his army, because even though those are alive, they are very damaged, and if they go into some fight, they'll go down like flies. Fan is now trying some raiding as well. Oh, if he sees this. Oh, that's gonna be tough. Come on, more left. Can you see it? Centaurs should see it. Yeah, now he sees it. Oh, nice locusts. Oh, that hurt. There's still nothing going on. With a lot of Turmas, you're not really going to push through. And Game Hunter was able to retake his town center and all the farms that were next to it. So he's pretty much cool right now. Game Hunter is also trying to raid. And Atlantis is really trying hard here to push through. Yeah, Elise might be the turning point here actually. If he manages to pull it off. Oh, nice raiding going on. How many does he have? 6 centaurs. That's a slaughter machine on wheelies, really. If he micro them, that's time to micro them, that would be pretty nice. These are very open, these as well. If Fan manages to find them, that's gonna be a problem. Oh well, that's not how you go about trading, really. Oh, he's going for this, okay. Well, that kind of backfired. You should have placed it on the houses, probably. It would be a bit better option. Yeah, he decided Fan to call it a day, because that was a dangerous situation for him. He needs to get back and destroy this. Game Hunter pretty much recovered without too many lasting damages. And he should be pretty much fine here. TC advantage is not on TBL side. They are even at this point pretty much. TSM Atlantis is really pushing it with his 4 TCs and he should be able to go through Seattle pretty much okay, since he has just 2 TCs. TBL should take this one, it shouldn't sit here. Probably Seattle should be taking it. If he has the echo for it, that is. Well, that's interesting that Ben decided not to do anything about it, that's fine. Oh hey, did you see them? It seems he just missed them. Hey, destroyers coming for the DC. That might be a problem for Fan if he loses that. Oh, Oh, that's a tough spot. Okay. That Fan didn't see. And it caused him big time. And how about Atlantis? He's trying, pushing, but he's not really successful, even though Seattle is still not upgraded, and Atlantis is. Yeah, that's a fine play. Waiting for the extra Colossi to get rid of this with the Willies. And just a few Hippicons to get rid of the guys that are dealing damage. But at the same time, when he's concentrating on that, he's really losing a lot of Willies here. On the south side, this really depends on the mercenaries. If Atlantis pulled in some mercenaries of his own, it will be... I don't know what Seattle could be doing against that with just 2 TCs against 4. At the same time, in the middle, Fen is losing his TC, and that's gonna be problematic because he needs all the town center limit, pop limit he can get, because without that, you can't really pop out the all-important Colossi, which he much like to get up. Yep, Silver Colossi coming up. Game Hunter is trying to do something here. It's not much of a push, it's just trying to keep him busy, his opponents, and not attacking Fen. And it seems Atlantis has finally pushed through. Yeah, as I said, it was all about the mercenaries. As soon as Atlantis pulled them, it's done deal for Seattle here. And I don't really see TBL doing anything fast enough, because they are all here, and they are actually getting pushed back by the combination of Fen and Game Hunter. And at the south side, it's a done deal. And in the middle, they push him through. Yeah, this is gonna be a kind of a Hail Mary, but I don't really think it's gonna help them. Even though Suezo took all 4 TCs, it's really all gonna go to waste now, thanks to his Ragnarok. Should have given that to Seattle, really. Yep, and here goes the Ragnarok. Which side does he choose? He chooses his side, so that seems like a middle. And this north. Okay. He hopes to destroy Game Hunter, obviously. Faster than Atlantis can destroy Seattle. I'm not all that sure that's gonna work out. But it just might, because Fen is getting pushed here. Not sure how he is managing it. He should be really putting up Myrmidons here against Ati. And where are going? I just don't see it. Where it went, sorry. The meteors. Now that's the Ragnaros you'd like to see. Obviously the flaming weapons, that's kind of a must-have. And Game Hunter is getting wrecked here. Which forces Fen to use Underworld to go for help, and at the same time TBL are taking fence 30C. Well, this is interesting. Atlantis decided that it needs to help against the Ragnarok, and that was probably a good choice. Because this would take a bit longer because of the mercenaries. And if they manage to kill Suezo, they might have some measure of chance here. Yeah, this TC seems to be coming up pretty much okay. But this Ragnarok is stalled because fence units are now good for this. Heavy Paspis, they just wreck Heroes of Ragnarok, really. Well, even though Atlantis is trying to make something up here, it's very correct to try and do something on the lower part of the map with some raiding. You should probably move around here to block the trade. That would be the best spot for these chariot archers to make some damage. The same as Suezo is trying to do. Yeah, that's gonna cost Hunter. At the same time, on the north, still that goal is pretty much safe. Game Hunter could have kept mining it, but anyway, they are getting pushed here, and pretty hard. Yeah, Gold Lion with 40 Cs, now that's gonna be a tough spot. I actually didn't expect this to go that well for TBL. Somehow, Game Hunter and Fen seem to be caught off guard by all of this. They seem to be going decently well here, the middle, but then suddenly their armies kind of died. And that pretty much allows this strong push with the Ragnaros heroes. Interesting bolt. Yep, this TC will go down. And how's it? Oh, Suezo is walling him. Oh, nice. That's a nice play. And Atlantis, yeah, he sees now that he needs to destroy Seattle first before anything bad comes to Fen. How about his armor upgrades? Ah, he has pretty decent ones. So yeah, that's definitely helping him pull in some advantage here. Yep, that's Game Hunter with 1 TC. And 0, actually. So he's pretty much out of the game now. And this is not working out because of the mercs. He will take down the TC, but he probably won't wreck Seattle soon enough to really save his boys here. Because Game Hunter's base is pretty much deleted now. And this TC is going for TBL as well. And that's a nice spot, yeah. As you could see a moment earlier. And here we are, some matters. This time I noticed them. You were just trying to clear the release here, because they were trying to defend the position with some buildings. Well, this TC for the mercs is really close, and That's gonna be enough for Seattle to stall Atlantis. But TBL should be getting this TC to really keep pushing the advantage. But this really was a very good play, as this cost TSM ton of gold. They were waiting there for at least a minute. At the same time, the north push is going on. Fan doesn't really have any upgrades here. When I look at TCs, we have 5-4-1, 4-0. That's kind of obviously TBL's favor, and they shouldn't really be losing this. Even though Seattle goes down, there's really no way this is going to work for TSM. Yeah, Gold Lion is gonna get another TC up, which is gonna make him even stronger against Fan. And since he has pretty decent ups, yeah, he has all he needs against Fan. He doesn't really have anything, so that's really not a fair fight. Fan can't stand a chance against this. Well, this is not really something that's gonna decide the game. To be honest, this is a done deal, because Gold Lion shouldn't be having problems 5 TCs versus T. Really, that shouldn't be something he wouldn't overcome. And even though a Game Hunter is trying to rebuild, it shouldn't be enough. At the same time, Seattle has stalled Atlantis enough to be able to pretty much neutralize him, even though he has 4 TCs. And, well, this is just waiting for the inevitable in my point of view. Fan is trying to go for TCs, which is the correct choice. Well, come on, use these guys. Yep, finally noticed. It's gonna be a nuisance, but as long as Fan is fighting on this front, it will allow Gold Lion to go unchallenged right into his middle. Yeah, and Atlantis is effectively stopped here, as he has to really concentrate on his backdoor, and fighting on those two fronts, that's not really gonna work out now. These Colossi are dead, and Suezo actually managed to keep the TC alive, which is a very nice bonus for him. They have a very nice trade still going on TSM, but apparently Atlantis is not very keen on making some mercenary warfare here. Yeah, he's really fighting an interesting battle with Suezo here. But this means that he had to stop fighting against Seattle, and he was able to rebuild his TC, and yeah, Atlantis tried to steal his gold, which is not really gonna work for him. And Suezo has successfully rebuilt his economy, and he's really used the Ragnarok to all its power. And now he's just 5 TC Thor in Mythic. So yeah, that's probably what it's gonna be. Red isn't doing anything right now. He's just trying to somehow stall Fen or whatever, but with 5 TCs, come on, against 2 TCs, I would expect a bit more push on his side. Yeah, he went to fight a bit on the southern side, but really what I would do would be concentrate my military and just go through to Fen's midst, because he can't really compete with 2 TCs against 5. Does he even have some... Yeah, he finally has at least basic upgrades here. Yeah, some fun on the water. They probably trying to get some sea chips to get rid of the TC. That's a pretty good plan, actually. And this northern position is very much safe for TBL. Atlantis is trying very hard to keep something going in the middle here. He's the one with the most DCs for TSM, so he should be doing the most of the stuff here. Hey. Still not all that much upgrades here. And that's the siege ships. Well, at this point it seems like Atlantis has finally lost the battle here. Basically because Suezo has 5 TCs and he has, well, he has quite decent upgrades, which obviously makes him powerful, and he'll just continue going in here. Yep, and that's it. That was a really well played match by TBL. Even though the initial attack in the Classical wasn't all that fast as I would like it to be, if it was faster, it actually might have deleted Game Hunter early in the game, like totally. But at the same time, they did well to actually keep the pressure on TSM, not allowing them to do anything extra. And even though Atlantis tried very hard, he took the forward TC of Seattle, he wasn't quick enough to delete Seattle to make any lasting impression on the game. Well, very good play, especially by Suezo. He really used his Ragnarok wisely. He was able to rebuild very nicely with the release right on. He had very good upgrades when he was going for it. So yeah, that was a very nice play. Let's have a look at the post game. Obviously, Suezo. Well, he also had the most DCs. He had the biggest army thanks to Ragnarok. No surprise there. Atlantis did well as well, of course, because he was on the forefront in the DCs department, so he had a pretty good echo, but it wasn't enough. Military count. Atlantis, well, again, not enough. Game Hunter, no upgrades pretty much. Seattle as well. that's not really surprising. When in the end had a pretty decent amount of upgrades, but they were coming in very late. Early on, he didn't really have them, while Suezo seemed to have them as the same as Goat Lion, and that really allowed them to keep FN in check, even though he managed to get very decent mythic with 3 town centers. Yeah, 557, that wasn't a very fast classical. The problem was for them that they didn't really see that. They had Suezo had forward base near him. If he did see that, maybe he would have gone a bit faster. But anyway, against a kind of a aggressive saves that TBL had, it was kind of risky to be honest. 557, even going for the fast heroic. Yeah, again, Mercenaries, the most used unit. Champion Fanatic, Heavy Myrmidon, Heavy Raider. Yeah, fine. Alright, that's it. GG.